And whose show is this? This is my show.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, you know what? One last thing here, Jim. We have star ratings that have come in for WWE Backlash, the show we just reviewed in France. Well, we weren't in France, but they were.
Yeah, the tortured syntax. We did not review the show in France. We reviewed a show that took place in France.
These are Dave Meltzer's star ratings. Let me get your thoughts. The listeners have been sending it over. The Bloodline versus Kevin Orton and Randy Orton.
Wait, Kevin Orton and Randy Orton, are the Orton brothers now a team?
The Bloodline consisting of Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
0-0.
4 3/4 stars.
What the fuck? We liked the match. Remember, I liked the match. I said that was a heck of a fight. But again, it's not goddamn levels of Tiger Mask and Dynamite Kid or Flair and Steamboat Revolutionary Classic once in a lifetime. Holy shit, I've never seen anything like that. Is he just afraid of hurting anybody's feelings?
Well, the next match, Jim, the match you skipped, Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton, 4.5 stars.
What?
Now, we didn't see it, so maybe it was a classic.
But again, it outdid everything in the Kurt Angle catalog, I guess.
The next match, Damian Priest versus Jey Uso, 3.5 stars.
Well, and now we're starting to see that he does, have some self-awareness, Uncle Dave, that he can't just give everything 4.5 because we do have eyes. So he downgraded that one a little bit just to make it look good.
Bianca and Jade Cargill, or Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus the Kabuki Warriors, 3 stars.
I mean, we're starting to get more into realistic thoughts and criticism here because I like Jade and Bianca as a team, and I mentioned that. I like the way that they look together, even they're wearing the same color, but at the same time, it's a little of their own fashion. They look physically dominant. They look like stars. Jade's got the entrance that I don't like about Bianca, and Bianca's got the experience to cover up for little Jade's greenness, but on the old days, on the regular star scale, wouldn't that have been about a 2-star match? It's right in the middle. It didn't stink. It wasn't great.
I agree, and I think Dave kind of seems reluctant, specifically since the start of AEW, to give any matches that aren't. Give any matches, 2 stars, 1 star, dud. Any of the traditional things.
Oh, there's no dud anymore, They used to do dud all the time.
And finally, Jim, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, 5 stars.
Okay, best match on the show and 2 very talented guys. But again, this was not, I always say Flair and Steamboat, because if you're really, there are no Jerry Lawlers and Terry Funks left anymore. But if you're going to rate, something about a wrestling match, I always think, okay, let's go back and what was an example of probably the best thing ever. You've got your Flair and Steamboat, or some people would go Undertaker and Michaels, or some people would go Bret and Owen Hart or whatever. But I don't think Cody and AJ was at any of those levels. Do you?
I think it was a really good match, but I think the story of the match was the crowd. And again, Dave famously ignored the crowd for the rating of The Rock versus Hogan, which I would give a 5-star match to. But here it's a different story. There's a reason why people kind of dismiss Dave's star ratings nowadays.
Well, yeah, I mean, people always say, oh, wonder what Cornette will have to say about this. I really have the same thing always to say about it. It doesn't change, is that he's delusional and apparently just doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Because, in a lot of cases, these matches that he rates 5 stars are embarrassing, especially when he tries to get into the garbage matches and the fucking furniture matches and the indie-rific bullshit. And well, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it was 6 stars. What the fuck is that? Uh, d- I don't know. Anyway, it's all a result of the rutabaga poisoning.
I guess so. I guess maybe the rutabaga poisoning and
And look at it now. Think about this. Something has entered his bloodstream that's causing him to turn into a human rutabaga. And that's got to affect your mental cognitive skills as well as having the basically your facial transformation to that of a rutabaga. Rutabaga poisoning.